Yeah, thanks, Clint. Hey, thanks, Regina. I love that. I really love that sample of the blow up doll. That was cool. Um, my last name is pronounced Krek, Krek, like if you would say correct, but it's pronounced Krek, still Krek. Most of the people who know me around my neck of the woods just call me Little Phil, because my dad was also called Phil, and all the people I grew up and know me just called me Little Phil. Um, which which the Eagle used to have a problem with that. And when I got older and matured, finally, I thought, you know what? It's cool. It's cool because that's really what I am. Let somebody else be Big Phil. I'll be Little Phil. But anyway, Regina invited me to share a little bit about myself and my spiritual path, and maybe spend a little time teaching or sharing on that. And so I thought about that, and I guess the best way I could go about this is just to kind of incorporate all those things into one flow. To one flow of sharing a little bit about me, um, kind of the path I'm on and where I'm going with my teaching. Um, as far as a teacher, I'd say I'm a non-duality teacher. I really don't like the title teacher, but I teach. We all do. We all teach. You know what I mean? And so I guess we're all teachers. Um, I teach it from a perspective of incorporating the truths from diverse faiths. I'm not claiming to be a Buddhist or a Christian or a ACIMer or anything. I'm just a Phil. That's all I am. I'm just a humble Pooh Bear. That's who I am. I could tell you my story. I could tell you my story. But I myself have grown tired and bored with my story. The story of me is not unlike any of your stories. I'm really in no way, I'm not special. I'm just like you. We're all born into the world, and after we get here, we make our own little worlds. And then eventually, some it takes longer than others, but eventually, we all seem to find our way back home to where we came from. You know, who am I? Who am I? Who is Phil? I recall the words of Jesus in the Gospels. Uh, one of the Gospels gives us an account of Jesus, and he said Jesus was like hanging around with his disciples, and they looked at him, and he asked them, he says, "Who do people say the Son of Man is?" And they replied, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. But how about you?" He asked, "Who do you say that I am?" And Simon Peter answered, he goes, "You're the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus looks at Simon and he goes, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven." So, who am I? Who am I? The Son of Man? Son of God? Where does heaven begin and the earth end? Where does heaven begin and the earth end? Show me that. Show me that, and then I'll show you who I am. Who I am to you is who you say that I am. Who I am to me is who I say that I am. Who I am beyond you and beyond me who am I that can't be said? That can't be said. That comes before the I. And where did the I come from? Who am I? Who am I really, eternally? Absolutely. I can't say. I've never been able to quite pin that down. Because that which I came from defines me, defines who I am, creates me on the fly, on the fly, on the fly. Who I am isn't written in stone. I've tried to pin it down to no avail. But in that process, I've come to understand that I don't need to understand. It's enough just to be here. Watch and wonder how who I am unfolds. And it's wonderful to simply watch it in wonder. And I don't want to have it all figured out and rob myself of that wonder. I can just abide in the fullness of that wonder. And it's awesome being a body of awe and wonder. For I am one with everything and nothing. And I could incessantly ramble on and on and on about what cannot be defined with words. Or I could just sit in silence and simply be, or let my presence speak for itself. I could say that I am that which speaks for itself without words. Who I am absolutely, completely remains. Who I am absolutely does not come and go. Who I am is in the holy instant that I am. I am the holy instant that I am. I am all in all the time. I am that from which I came and return to. Yet I am not that which comes and goes. That is form. That is an appearance. I am that which gives form to. And the form that I take on, I wear as a garment for but a day. So what do I now wear? Who am I relatively? This moment and this form particularly. I'm a prodigal son. I've learned to do what's right by doing everything wrong. I'm a student of the University of Hard Knocks. Yet just as the prodigal that returned home gained with his journey a new depth and deeper insight, even more so than his brother who was the do-gooder, who did everything right, sought recognition, I've taken the path of the prodigal, and I've learned from what I've suffered. I've learned the value of the peace and rest, staying home, by going out into the world and partying, suffering, and doing things my own way. And I found that there's this place for doing things wrong. Doing things wrong is just part of learning. And that he that never does anything wrong never learns anything at all. I've learned to stand steadfast by learning to fall well, to fall with grace rather from grace. I recall what Solomon said, that a righteous man falls 7 times and rises again. And I've come to see that the falling is part of the righteousness. It sounds strange, but I found it to be true. I have found failure to be a priceless asset to my spiritual growth. And what I've come to experience is that many times life gives me tests. Life gives us tests that we're supposed to fail. They've been arranged so that I do fail them and come to know my true nature. Not as a mighty God or diva or some super spiritual enlightened guru, but rather a fragile human being who's easily hurt, unanimously weak, and greatly loved by God. Who am I? I am one who fails at present. That my Creator is always present. Yet I rarely am here wholeheartedly. I all too quickly become frightened and afraid. And rather than abide in pristine silence, I run, I flee, I seek to escape. I bury myself in music, in idle chatter and social media, all to avoid the persistent underlying sense of uneasiness that haunts me like a specter in the night. Yet sometimes I do manage to sit quietly with my fears and my sense of uneasiness. Not because I make some valiant sacrifice that some conquistador of the ego might do, but simply because I've grown weary. I've grown weary of pain and suffering that accompanies my sad and divided heart and mind. That comes when I'm not altogether present and in love, captivated by the life that's here right now. That comes when I'm destitute of gratitude. So So I sit first with ambition. I sit first with fierce determination. I sit, I sit trying so hard to overcome the incessant stream of thoughts that race through my shattered and scattered mind. Stubborn and determined, I sit in great pride, thinking, 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 thinking. And I think, oh, if only others could see how long I've maintained this lotus position. My legs racked with pain and my back sore. And all the other scars that I wear as a war hero wears a purple heart, a legend in my own mind. And then I find myself wearied, having been refreshed by the experience. My mind flooded with thoughts of food and what I will eat for dinner. And in a moment's time, I go from having great pride for enduring the pain in my practice to one despondent, telling myself I'm such a failure at meditation. I'm such a failure. So I get up and I go eat something to forget and feel better. I feel empty and desire to be filled. So I eat and I drink. But I find that the more I eat, the emptier I feel. Hollow and pathetic, a slave to my insatiable desires, I overindulge and feel altogether bloated. I look in the mirror and I see a fat pig, a bloated whale. I judge myself harshly. I cut myself no slack. I deserve to be punished. So I'll punish myself before anyone else can beat me to it. I somehow get a glimpse of the gross insanity of this process, and I manage to crack a little half smile. I sarcastically chuckle at my ambition. I find my ambition has failed me. My ambition has failed me altogether. So I sulk and I go about in self-pity. I weep silently in the darkness. And I'll be damned if I will let anybody else know that my heart's broken. I trust no one. They lay in wait, all like jackals and wolves, surrounding wounded prey, watching for a tear to flow like a drop of blood, thirsty for it. They want to nail me to a cross and then tell me to get off it because God needs the wood. And I know this is what they think. I know it because I've thought it myself. And I'm also sure that everyone is thinking about me, judging me, making cruel remarks. And they all see right through my brigade. Completely convinced I know not that I know how to read others' minds. In my state of grandiosity, I dare not entertain the notion of paranoia. It might injure my already wounded and fragile ego. And then I sense great need for others' approval, thinking their approval might heal my bruised ego. But the idea of needing their approval sickens me. I both need people. I both need people and hate people. I find it repulsive. So I tell myself that I do not need their approval. I stiffen up and I take on a rigidity. I don't need anybody. I'm self-sufficient. I'm self-sufficient and damn proud of it. I won't accept help or a kind word from anyone. And very soon in my self-sufficiency, I find myself boasting and bragging over a cup of coffee about what a self-made man that I am. And I go on and I go on and I go on about my great contribution to the world. And I begin to compare myself. I begin to compare myself with others in my mind. And I become convinced that the world would be a much better place, so much a better place if everyone else could be just like I am, could be just like me, so self-sufficient. Others are so pathetic, always crying out for attention and a free meal. What a bunch of hypocrites. What a bunch of hypocrites. Then I hear the bell. The phone rings. It rings just like a meditation bell. It brings me back into the moment. It was only a moment, yet it seemed like eternity, the little trip I took in my head. And I'm reminded of my need to practice once again. With a fresh desire, I sit back down. I take in some nice, slow, deep breath. And now with a resolve rather than an ambition, I relax into it. I draw a few deep, slow breaths. I draw them in deeply. I let them out slowly, deliberately, intentionally, focusing on the sensation of the flow. I find myself surrendering. I find my body once again surrendering to its own innate rhythm. And I become aware that I'm growing more comfortable as I sink back up with what's here. A few short breaths, and each and every inhalation is like Darcy clicking together her ruby red slippers. saying there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And I awakened from my dream. I've come out of Oz. I've escaped the Matrix. Jesus, just like Morpheus, has drawn me out of it. I took the red pill and flushed the blue one down the toilet. Out of the rabbit hole I escape Wonderland and enter into the Pure Land. But I've come back different. I've come back different. This prodigal has come home differently from the experience. I've come back enlightened. And now I know how far the rabbit hole goes. I've eaten with pigs as the prodigal son. I've crawled back home, famished and bruised, yet much, much wiser. And the robe I'm giving and the ring of gold by my father upon my arrival back home have now become my monk's habit, my sacred mantle, ever to remind me of my journey and my way back home and his everlasting love for me. And that's all I really have to say. I'll let you guys do what you want to from here. We got about a half hour. You know, we can play music or you talk or whatever you want. Thank you.